there is good news for scammed investors in the OmegaPro Forex fraud. Namely, several of the founders have now been arrested, and a major influencer has been warned he is a person of interest. However, this story is almost as strange as the fraud itself. After the OmegaPro scam went bust, the leaders disappeared. Investors lost their money. Authorities started investigating. However, things started going into overdrive in July. One of the co-founders of the OmegaPro scam was suddenly identified in Turkey. Andreas Szakacs, originally a Swedish national, was turned into police by an anonymous source. The police learned that Szakacs was living in Istanbul, under an assumed name. He had also obtained a Turkish passport. Shortly after Szakacs' arrest, another member of the scam showed up. Dr. Abdul Ghaffar Mohaghegh entered Turkey. Ghaffar is a Dutch national with ties to Dubai's royal family. He went to the Turkish police and identified Szakacs, now in police custody. He also claimed to represent 3,000 scammed investors. He stated he had personally lost over $7 million in the scam. A month later, another co-founder, Robert Velghe, arrived in Turkey. Velghe registered at multiple hotels to conceal his whereabouts. He began visiting Szakacs in prison, always accompanied by a lawyer. He claimed to Szakacs that he was there to help him get out. In fact, however, it was Velghe who made the anonymous call to the police about Szakacs. He was also working with Ghaffar to make sure Szakacs never got out of jail. This double dealing, however, would soon lead to his own downfall. In fact, Turkish intelligence grew suspicious of Velghe's repeated visits to Szakacs with his lawyer, so they arrested him too. Velghe initially denied his identity and tried to hide his phone. Unfortunately for him, none of these efforts worked. He is also now in prison in Turkey. Ghaffar, realizing that his plan had gone seriously wrong, fled the country for Dubai. Despite fleeing to Dubai, Ghaffar's troubles are far from over. Authorities in Dubai, aware of his involvement, labeled him a person of interest. This means he cannot leave the country. His connections to the royal family apparently cannot protect him in the widening scandal. You can see Ghaffar on the left of the picture in a blue suit, at an event to promote OmegaPro where the royal family was also in attendance. The arrests of Szakacs and Velghe are really good news. This means that 2 of the 4 co-founders of OmegaPro are now in police custody. The fact that Ghaffar is also trapped in Dubai means that at minimum, the global investigation is of concern to the country's rulers. If you were an investor in OmegaPro, now is the time to come forward. Lawyers involved in the international litigation and private prosecution effort are urging scammed investors to report the crime to their local police, and tell the police that 2 of the co-founders are in jail in Turkey. Despite the arrests, the scam has resurfaced. It falsely claims that investors will get their money back. Do not believe these promises. The only way to recover funds is through the ongoing legal efforts. If you want to get your money back, first make a report to the police. And then, of course, get in touch with us.